Happy you stayed, and you're just in time for the Business Report with Joel Crossgill.
Lots to share with you in the Business Report today. It's well known that comparison is often the thief of joy. However, what you don't measure, you can't manage. So, having been named the most improved airport in Latin America and the Caribbean in 2015 by the prestigious Airports Council International Airport Service Quality, achieving the #2 ranking in the region in the fourth quarter of that year, the Norman Manley International Airport's descent down the rankings to as low as 71 of 72 has been a cause for concern for passengers and onlookers alike. However, when the PAC Kingston Airport Limited PACAL, a member of GAP, the Mexican operators of Norman Manley International Airport NMIA, last year announced plans to spend $143 million on upgrades intended to evolve the aviation gateway to Kingston, even beyond its former glory, hope was renewed. An update was provided by Sitara English Byfield, CEO PAC Kingston Airport Limited, during the biannual Airport Forum, where interested parties were provided a progress report on the 5-year improvement roadmap of the NMIA.
The biggest project of the concession, the runway extension, the 300-meter runway extension for the implementation of RISA at both ends of the runway, is ongoing. We have completed the design phase. It's with our regulator for approval. A major part of this project is that we need to displace the threshold, that is, shrink the length of the runway by 300 meters to allow for the construction of the 300-meter extension to continue while flights are operating, so that we don't have to close the airport. Because if we should close the airport to facilitate this project at nights only, the project would take much longer than 3 years. We're time-bound to complete it in 3 years.
Adding to the overall passenger experience, an overhaul of the restrooms is currently underway. The installation of additional escalators is also being processed. 4 of 8 existing passenger loading bridges have been upgraded. 6 new 3D X-ray machines have been secured, and the baggage conveyor is set to be modernized. Director of Maintenance Catherine Prendergast details another significant project set to come on stream.
Roof, which is our main terminal roof, which is a metal-clad roof. This roof was done during the expansion of the terminal building of the Norman Manley Airport in 2006. The designers, manufacturers, and installers of that original roof are Palgag out of Israel. You would have known that from Beryl last year. We had a section of our roof taken away by that Catford girl, and we did a temporary repair in-house because we had some sections available to us. However, it needs to be permanently repaired. We tried locally to see if we could find companies that would assist us, but based on the design and the material used, it is not something that's readily available in Jamaica. So we had to reach out across the waters to Israel. We have engaged a company who have manufactured all the components required to do the permanent repair of that damaged section, but also just to give us an overall repair and update and rehab of the roof. I said 2006, we're roughly 17 years on that roof, so it's fair enough. They're coming this far, might as well have everything done. So they are shipping their containers next week, and we're hoping for landfall in Jamaica by July, and the period of that project will be 8 months to complete that refurbishment.
And speaking of overhead, the airport's energy infrastructure is also set for a major shift.
We're doing phase 2 of a solar farm. We have a phase 1 that is 2.8 megawatts. This one will take us to 5 megawatts capacity with an 8 megawatt storage. We're hoping to not use much of JPS's power. After this project is complete, it's a cost of $8.1 million. The previous phase was about $2.5 million.
And before we taxi, here are a few of the key metrics relating to the general performance of the airport in spite of the challenges.
Between 2019, October, when we started operating, and April 2025, we have contributed $220 million or 34.8 billion Jamaican dollars to the economy in the form of revenue share to the government of $163 million, taxes of $9 million, capital expenditure so far of $48 million. That's a total of $220 million. As I mentioned in my greeting, January was the highest January we've ever seen at Norma Manley. And now we're at 580,000 passengers up to April 2025. Finally, above 2019. We are only 10% above. We are 10% above 2024.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crossgill.